Caitlin Clark's magnificent, incredible impact on the sport of women's college basketball has been reduced to, well, she's white, and all of her fans are white, and they're all racist. And that's why Caitlin Clark has taken women's college basketball by storm. It's because she's white. Don't you realize these black girls all pave the road that she's traveling, that these black women built the WNBA, that these black women carried women's basketball, and now all the racists love women's basketball because they're racist and they have Caitlin Clark. Just not true. Caitlin Clark's success and impact has been unpacked and told in such an unsophisticated, unintelligent manner that people don't fully understand how she did it, why these other girls. Juju Watkins is a marvelous basketball player for the University of Southern California. Last night, she had another 30-point game. She broke Caitlin Clark's record, most 30-point games through a sophomore season. She's a terrific basketball player. She may end up being as good, if not better, than Caitlin Clark. You know, she's 6'1", 6'2". She's got a really good handle. She's a better athlete than Caitlin Clark. But let me walk you through the difference between Caitlin Clark and Juju Watkins, Caitlin Clark and Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. This is what the story that's not told about the uniqueness of her journey and how she became this mega star. Caitlin Clark was, I think, the second or third biggest recruit in her recruiting class. Every school in the country wanted Caitlin Clark except for UConn. Gino Auriemma was not big on Caitlin Clark. I think, my speculation, he wasn't big on Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark had no control of her emotions in high school and berated refs and had bad body language with her teammates. Again, and this isn't me criticizing Caitlin Clark. This is me understanding Caitlin Clark and reading the Wright Thompson at ESPN did a magnificent profile story on Caitlin Clark, explaining that she's always run hot, that this problem with her controlling her emotions has been there since junior high, since high school. She played high school basketball with a group of girls who, she's in Iowa. She's a freak in Iowa. She actually loves the game of basketball. She actually loves competing. Most of the girls on her team played it because it was fun. It kept them in shape, but it really wasn't a big deal. They were more concerned about prom dates and other things that girls are interested in. They didn't take basketball that seriously, and that drove Caitlin Clark a tiny bit crazy. She's a basketball genius. She cares. She understands the sport. She's playing with a bunch of teammates that just don't share her passion, and she really didn't have any close friends until she got to Iowa. And that's part of the uniqueness of her journey is she's this big mammoth basketball recruit, was in love with UConn and Gino Auriemma. Gino Auriemma was not in love with her and did not, I don't believe, offer her a scholarship, or if he did, it was very, very late in the process. And so Caitlin Clark, unbeknownst to her, it was a blessing. She stayed at home. She committed to Iowa. She didn't go to UConn. She didn't go to Tennessee. She didn't go to South Carolina. She didn't go to Stanford. She didn't go to one of the powerhouse schools with a huge brand and some megastar coach. She stayed at home in the state of Iowa where she had this local hometown following and this narrative, oh, an Iowa girl is staying home and is going to play for Iowa. This is marvelous. That decision gave her a foundation of fan support. Not a mammoth foundation, but a foundation of fan support. People in Iowa bought into, hey, one of the most talented athletes that Iowa has ever produced is actually staying at home and is going to play here. We're going to support her. And so that got the fan base to one level. In the world of whiskey, there's premium, and then there's Fox and Odin. And once you taste the difference, the choice will be clear. Buy online at foxandodin.com. Use the promo code America for free shipping. That's foxandodin, ODEN.com. Promo code America to get free shipping. American made, American proud. And then Caitlin Clark reveals herself to be this magnificent three-point shooter and this magnificent player, and she's interesting. And her hometown fans upped their support of Caitlin Clark. Had Caitlin Clark gone to UConn, she would have just been another great player who chose to play for Geno Auriemma. If Don Staley had even wanted her, who knows, Don Staley's a racial idolater, but if she had gone to South Carolina like Aaliyah Boston or Asia Wilson or who are some of these other South Carolina basketball players, she would have been overshadowed by the head coach, Don Staley. No different than if she had went to UConn, where Geno Auriemma is the biggest star in UConn women's basketball, and she would have been overshadowed by Geno Auriemma. If she had gone to Stanford, I believe the coach Tara Vanderveer, who had the record for the most wins, Stanford has this tremendous history. She would have moved away from her hometown fan base and been playing out in Northern California for Tara Vanderveer and the Stanford program, and she would have gotten swallowed up. She would have been a nice story, but she would have not been the hometown hero that she was in Iowa. Caitlin Clark dominated her home state, her hometown. She built a local following. Anybody that knows anything about the old school music business before the internet took it over, the first thing a great artist has to do is become a great local artist. Years before Hootie and the Blowfish became Hootie and the Blowfish, they were Hootie and the Blowfish just working bars in South Carolina. And they had a huge following in South Carolina before they had this huge national following. That's the process for creating stars and stardoms. That's the old school process. Dominate home. Build up a local following of hardcore fans. So let's take Angel Reese for an example. She had a chance to do this. She's from Baltimore. She originally went to Maryland. After 2 years, she decided to bounce from Maryland, a school that plays in the Big Ten. She decided to bounce. She decided to leave her home and her home following. She decided that she wanted to play for a mega program led by, guess who? Kim Mulkey and LSU. She took the bag. Instead of, if she had Caitlin Clark's talent, maybe she stays at Maryland and builds the Maryland program up and builds a local following in Maryland that positions her to become a superstar. That's not what she did. She cut corners, went to LSU, went to go play for Kim Mulkey, won a national championship. That's all. Great job. But that's not how you create a superstar. Where did Michael Jordan play college basketball, and where did he grow up? Oh, Michael Jordan grew up in North Carolina and played for North Carolina? Interesting. Where did Magic Johnson grow up? And where did he play college basketball? Oh, he grew up in Michigan, and he played college basketball at Michigan State. Where did Larry Bird grow up? Oh, he grew up in French Lick, Indiana, originally went to Indiana University, became a star at Indiana State University. The pattern to basketball superstardom. It's crystal clear. It's crystal clear. Juju Watkins, the person that everyone thinks is going to be this magnificent talent, and she's just as good as Caitlin Clark, if not better than Caitlin Clark, and people are going to start saying, oh, she's not getting the attention. If she was white, she'd get the attention. I'm not even sure. I'm going to have to look it up. I'm not even sure where Juju Watkins grew up, but let's say she grew up in California, but I'm not sure. I'm about to look it up. That's the wrong state. That's the wrong place to be growing up. And yeah, born in Los Angeles, that's the wrong. They got superstars everywhere in Los Angeles. They got so many different things to do in Los Angeles. They got pro sports galore. They have everything to distract you in Los Angeles. So yes, she's playing at USC. No one cares. They're drawing 3,000 and 4,000 fans. They had one game this year against Notre Dame where they drew 8,000. Most people believe that's because it was Notre Dame. Notre Dame fans came out. But Juju Watkins is a marvelous player. But she's playing in Los Angeles. And there's plenty of other entertainment options. There's plenty of good weather. There's plenty of things to do beyond go watch women's college basketball. She chose the wrong school. And she doesn't really have the option in Los Angeles, in California, that someone like Caitlin Clark does to go play for Iowa, hometown or home state team, and build up that narrative. But you just can't do it from Los Angeles. There's too much other competition, and women's basketball just isn't that strong. And so it doesn't matter how good Juju Watkins is. She's never going to build that local following that will make her a superstar the way Caitlin Clark is. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.